if someone could remind me, please, that once we seem to have everyone who's going to come on board here, we'll take a screenshot because we like to document the fact that we had people showing up. I forgot to do that the last one on Monday. So we are a network. We are here. And those of you who go way back to the beginnings of the Palm Network know that we used to actually meet in person. We obviously couldn't get everybody together, but we did meet twice a year. And that was wonderful because there's just something, you know this from Zoom classes, that it's just so different if you can actually meet in person and you can just kind of snag somebody and go over in the corner and talk about something and then go talk to somebody else. We'll try to recreate that today in the breakout rooms, and I will set them up so that you have choice of moving around. We'll see if that works. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. One way or another, though, we'll get you into small groups so that you can meet and greet each other. And one of the functions of the Palm Network, or one of the things we said we were going to do, was to create a sustainable network of people who are like-minded about wanting to increase the use of evidence-based effective learning techniques in their classrooms. And in order to do that, we need to go beyond when the Palm Grant ends. And I'll get back in a minute to when it actually ends. It's been a moving target. It's now nailed down. But to get that kind of sustainability, we need to encourage people to connect with each other and set up longer term relationships that will last beyond the lifetime of the current grant. And we've been successful in doing that in the past. Sometimes it's between a fellow and the mentor. Other times it's been cross those pairs. And that's when meeting in person has been very useful, because sometimes people will just strike up a conversation, or the chemistry is right and you think, oh, I really want to work with that person, or I want to invite that person to give a seminar at my institution, or whatever it is. And would like to try to recreate that a little bit today and try to create a system where that can be sustained. So we will try to keep, say, the Palm website and the communication capabilities that has open to people after we technically end the grant. And so when does it end? When COVID first started, I got communication from NSF that indicated to me that we were going to get lots of chances for no-cost extensions to take into account, especially for grants like ours, where, I don't know, 85, 90% of the funds are dedicated to participant costs, which is almost exclusively travel. And so nobody's been traveling much for the last 2 years. And so we're sitting on $200,000 still, roughly, which is almost half of what we started with. And more than half of the Palm Fellow and Mentor pairs came on board after COVID hit. So we've really, in spite of all of our efforts to spend extra money, we're just sitting on a boatload of funds. And NSF actually gets mad at us if we don't spend it, because it makes them look bad, and congressional apportionment of funds gets reduced if they're not spending money. So you guys put your heads together today and think of ways to spend money. And if you had a chance to look at the spreadsheet that went up, it had some notes from Monday's gathering. And there are people who are proposing all sorts of workshops and symposia. And even if those are done by Zoom, you can pay a speaker. You can give an honorarium to someone. Or if you're doing it locally, so that people don't have to get on an airline to get to you, you can provide refreshments. So I'm going to encourage you to be imaginative about how you plan interactions and ways to spend our funding, in a wise way that promotes the idea of promoting active learning and creating sustainable networks of instructors that want to keep improving their teaching. The final deadline for us is September 30th of this year. We originally thought we were going to have another year beyond that, but NSF has some ironclad policy that you can't extend any proposal beyond, any grant beyond 6 years total. And that would take us beyond 6 years. You just have to have things on the books by September 30th. The disbursement, the reimbursement doesn't have to be done by then, but the money has to be committed by then. So you can still file for reimbursement after that. We have a month or so to tidy up that stuff. But that means pretty much that this spring and this summer are what we're looking at for activities. Okay. Whew. So after all of that, maybe now would be a good time to go around and just say who you are and where you are. And we might do that again a little bit later. Well, no, let's propose that we do this. In the breakout rooms, you have some options. You could just meet with people that you don't know and get to know them. Or we could have themes to those breakout rooms, which is what we ended up doing at the first of these gatherings. There were people who were interested in using primary literature in the classroom. There were people interested in team-based learning or problem-based learning, incorporation of mathematics into biology or chemistry coursework, sense making, what else? Case studies. There may be other topics within the grand scheme of active learning that you think might be helpful. I'm looking at Katie Furness just says 2 to 3 day writing retreat. That would certainly be a possibility. Yeah.
Just thinking that'll spend some money, right? If you brought like a group of people together, you'd have to fly, you'd have to get a hotel or retreat space.
Right. Assuming people are comfortable with flying these days. I know a lot of institutions are shutting things down again, and Jeremy knows Sabre West was going to, well, Sabre West was going to happen, and there was going to be a gathering, a Palm gathering associated with that, and both have had to be canceled because California is in the grips of particularly nasty surge right now.
I guess I was thinking, like 5 people in a cabin on a lake, not with a lot of other people, like retreat it.
Cabin on a lake in about July. That sounds good to me.
This is what I'm saying, right?
Yes, yes. And that is totally possible. Sabi, yes, the July conference is on. Sabre, the main Sabre will be meeting still in Minneapolis unless something really awful happens. And we will have a gathering before that. In fact, one of the windows open on my many windows open on my browser is at the Graduate Hotel, which is on campus here, because that's the hotel that Sabre is using. So people who are either coming to Sabre and want to come in 1 or 2 nights ahead of time to take part in a in-the-person gathering, or people who aren't necessarily interested in biology education research. And for those of you outside of biology proper, there are chemistry and other STEM fields represented there, though not nearly as much as biology. But people who just want to come for the gathering, we can provide 1 or 2 nights hotel and airfare. I think that should help us spend our money pretty effectively. I'm hoping, I'm kind of guessing we could get 50 people at least. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Surprise me. Get 75 of us together. That would be wonderful. But yes, we are still on. Any other questions like that?
I have a quick question, Sue. So is it possible, because it's intended to have one visit to the mentor and one visit from the mentor, can we have multiple trips to the mentor, or
Sure, sure.
having, okay.
And especially for, we've had pairs that aren't that very far apart and have had multiple direct interactions. Yes, so if Palm is anything, it's flexible in terms of, what your project is, how you interact with the mentor, what seems to be the best way to provide professional development that is beneficial for you. Maybe it's time. Can someone take a screenshot once we get these last couple of people on? If everyone could show us your lovely face. Thank you. Mindy, are you there? Maybe Mindy stepped away for a minute. Oh, Mindy's there. Okay. Is there someone who could take a screenshot, please? Katie, I'm going to designate you. or Jay, could you do it?
Yeah, I can do it. All right, so I'll call 3, 2, wait, I have it on there. 3, 2, 1. There you go. I'll send you through email.
Thanks. Okay, just so we have a record. Why don't we do a quick run through, do a kind of popcorn thing. I'll call on somebody and then that person can call on the next. So who you are you a fellow or a mentor or a steering committee member? Where are you? Tara's not at the beach, even though it looks like she is. And maybe if there's a particular topic you'd be interested in talking about in a breakout room. And I could start assembling the breakout rooms on the basis of that. So Tara, why don't you start?
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm a fellow. I'm in Northern California, so it's like 40 degrees. It's pretty cold for me. And I don't really have any particular topics, but I'm gonna volunteer my mentor, Laura, to go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lara Gutsusan. I'm a former fellow and now mentor. So I've grown up in the program and I've enjoyed it so much. I'm in Center Valley, Pennsylvania, which is the home of DeSales University. And I'm interested in all the topics. As Sue and Mike know well, I love it all. So I'll go into any breakout room that needs somebody in it. And I will pass it off to Mindy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mindy Reynolds, and I'm at Washington College in Maryland, and we're having our third snow day this week, which is sort of unusual for us, weirdly enough. I think I'm a mentor. I don't know. I feel like I've fluctuated. And I think the person I was originally menteeing is now a mentor, so that's even more exciting. Similar to Laura, I'm really interested in lots of things, but in looking at the list, which again, I can't come up with anything new at the moment. I really am always interested in case studies, how we can use case studies to teach, and just the use of literature in our teaching and finding better ways to teach it or to incorporate it in is something I'm definitely interested in. But you can put me wherever you want.
Okay, well, I'm going to name 2 of the breakout rooms. So one will be case studies and one will be primary literature.
Okay. And
for starters,
I will call in Christina.
So I'm Christina Mora. At least I hope I'm the only Christina on here. Sometimes that gets tricky. So I am a mentee. I'm an Aracta postdoc at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And so I just finished my first semester teaching in the Honors College, and I'm really interested in talking, if anyone has thoughts on how to build from your evals into improving other things, or what to take away from your evals and how to bring the thoughts together from all of that when you're getting a lot of different feedback. Anything that falls within that purview. I'll talk about anything else, but That's just my thought.
Okay, what did one of the rooms, course evaluation feedback?
Sure. Next up on my screen is Stephanie Matthews.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Matthews. I am a fellow. I am in North Carolina at Campbell University. And for topics of interest, one thing that I've been thinking about is instructor talk and the way that we speak to our students and how to engage them.
Sounds good.
Oh, and I'm supposed to call on someone. So sorry. I will pick my mentor, Sarah Sletton.
Hello, guys. I don't know if you know, but I'm in North Dakota and it feels like -51 last night. So Sue knows what I'm talking about. Like, it is really cold up here.
You're worse. You're worse.
Anyways, yeah, so I've been working with Stephanie as her mentor, but I mean, seriously, it has been just a partnership, level partnership from the get-go. We've been redesigning our microbiology course to fit along with the nursing guidelines, which has been really exciting. So I'm all about course redesign with increase in active learning, like we all are. So I'd probably join any groups, any breakout rooms like that, or into the incorporating primary literature, but in more of an active way. So something like that. That's where my interests lie. I will call on Jeremy because I've been in a lot of meetings with him before. We always seem to be in the same ones.
Thanks so much. I am in Orange County, California, faculty at Chapman. Since we're doing the weather, I'm kind of curious. We're positive 54 degrees right now here in California. I am broadly interested in many things. I'll give a very general response of I'm interested in how we can continue translating biology education research into, or education research in general. I know there's people outside biology here into the classroom, into the practitioner side of things. So with that, I'll pass it on to Rachel.
Well, hi, I'm Rachel Horak. I'm at American Society for Microbiology, and I'm near Boston, and it snowed a foot this morning, and I've got 3 very anxious little girls that want to go outside and play. So I got that going. And I'm on the steering committee of Palm Network. And Sue, if you wish, I can take a breakout room with folks that are interested in taking their Palm scholarship of what they're doing with their Palm project and disseminating it to a nationwide or international audience through either conference presentations this summer or by publishing it. So that's my expertise at the Society, is hosting a major international conference and a journal. So I'm willing to talk with people about that today.
Okay. Getting lots of breakout rooms. We may not fill them all the first round, but we'll have at least 2 rounds of this. Sounds good. Who are you going to call on, Rachel?
Ellie, hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ellie. I am at the University of Washington teaching the large introductory biology class. I am a mentor this year of GA, but just like Sarah said, it's been, I view it much more as a partnership. We've been working on, GA was teaching an intro bio class too, and we've been working on developing a couple of modules. Yeah, and so it's been totally great. I'm happy to go to whatever breakout room. Looking at the list from before, I'm super interested in the idea of ungrading, but particularly ungrading in giant classrooms or giant classes. So I have 1,100 students, or last quarter I had 1,100 students. This quarter I only have 600. But how ungrading can work in that context. And I'll call on GA.
Hi, I'm GA. I'm a postdoc in UW at Seattle, but also located at Orange County in UCI. So so Palm, as Ellie said, it helped me so much for my teaching for the last summer for the introductory biology course. I would be interested in how, like, the assessment room or the evaluation room, because I want to get a better like grasp on how to assess my interventions, how well they worked. So I'm really interested in that. Thanks.
Sounds good. Who are you going to call on? GA, do you want to pass the?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to call. I'll call Jessica.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Velez. I am with the Genetic Society of America. I am also a member of the steering committee. And I'm actually down in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I'm very close to our North Carolina friend over here. We had a teeny tiny bit of snow. It's just a dusting, but the way Knoxville works is that shuts down the whole city. So it's been interesting watching the news. I don't know what we would do if we had a foot of snow. It would be chaos here. In terms of topics, I will probably join Rachel because the GSA, the Genetic Society of America, also hosts international conferences, both virtually and fingers crossed in person. We'll see. And so I'm definitely interested to hear about how people would like to present about PALM at the conferences. And the next person on my screen is Karen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Schmeichel. I work at Oglethorpe University, which is a small liberal arts college in Atlanta. I joined PALM as a mentor many, many years ago and continue to be dazzled by all of the work that you guys have been doing and on the list to mentor again, should that be helpful for anyone. So many of the things that you get brought up, I'm loath to add another one in there. But I have been thinking a lot, not just about courses, but about whole curricula. So now that we have active learning happening, at least at my school in quite a few places, I'm curious as to how that impacts a whole kind of curriculum and what the canonical curricula are that maybe a med school is like, how might it change the whole thing? How we do labs, how we do our lectures. We're starting to think about those things right now, and I feel like there's some good creative stuff that could go on. But everything that has already been said are all things that I would love to have conversations about today. So we don't need to do whole curriculum. Maybe nobody's there yet.
I'll add it to the list and we'll see if anyone wants to do that.
Let's go ahead. Mike, I see you hiding there. Lunch is done.
Oh, you were watching that? Yeah. I'm Mike Waliniak at Hampton-Sydney College, about an hour west of Richmond, Virginia. I'm the chair of the steering committee. Very interested in some of the topics about primary literature, and also Ellie had brought up ungrading. And what's funny is that came up on Monday, and while the thing was going on, I ordered the book, and look what came today. It's the ungrading book. So like this PALMs were like leading action here now, which is very exciting. And so Michael will call Michael.
I'm Michael Moore. I am the Learning Assisted Program Coordinator and LSAMP Coordinator at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I've been a part of PALM since 2017. I'm a former mentee, but I've stayed actively involved in the network ever since my partnership officially ended. I guess, I don't know, I'm doing less teaching, more program management these days. So I guess I'm still really interested in inclusive teaching, but I'll probably follow where everybody else goes. I'm just interested in hearing about all the good things everybody else is doing.
I'll make one for inclusive teaching and we'll see if anyone chooses it. Okay.
And I will call on Stephanie Leacock.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Leacock. I'm an instructor of biology also at University of Arkansas, Little Rock. I am interested in all those things, of course, although ungrading terrifies me. I am working on a case study. I have had a case study that I have developed, and I was lucky enough that Michael is not my official mentor. I have a mentor from chemistry here at UA Little Rock, But Michael got to see I invited him to my case study in the spring, and he loved it. And or at least he told me that he did. And so I'm kind of interested in this overlap between, okay, now that I have this case study, how do I publish it? So there may be some overlap there between the case study people and the publishing people. Oh, and I will call on our other is Rania still here? I think this is like a cruel memory game where you have to remember who has gone, but the squares have all moved. Oh, it's like playing my daughter's princess memory matching. All right, I'm calling on Rania from also.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'm Rania. I'm the chemist here, you guys. So I'm an instructor of chemistry at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I am also working on my PhD in discipline-based education research. So PALM has been incredible and amazing in helping me move forward with my research with my mentor, as I am a fellow. And I'm also in the process of like publishing, like literally dotting the I's and crossing the T's for the Journal of Chemical Education on some work that I've done over sense of belonging and students seeing themselves as learning assistants to really empower our students to kind of take the role with us as mentors to help other students. So in active learning, because often in active learning, you need some help. You can't do it all on your own, especially in large classes. So I'm trying to figure that part out. But Michael, you got me interested in this ungrading because it's on my mind. And I literally like Googled the book because I'm gonna buy it too, because you know, like how we're classically like, hey, you gotta know what you're doing on the test. That's the only way you know what you're doing in our classes. We've been trained like that, and I'm trying to get out of that mental rut, I guess, so. Oh, I gotta call someone. Oh, see, now I have to remember who didn't go. I think, let's see, Dominique.
Hi, I'm late, so when I have to go to pick somebody, I have no idea after like I join.
Okay.
So this
I'll
is
give
gonna
you
be
a
fun. So my name's Dominique Derminio. I'm currently an adjunct at Keuka College teaching a wide range of sciences from general chemistry to neuroscience. And I live in Syracuse and I hear plows going by. We might have about 3 inches of snow right now. It's fun. And I'm interested in ungrading as well as active learning in the classroom, specifically how it is different between the lower level intro classes versus the higher level classes. And I don't know who to choose since I was late.
I'm going to suggest Sabi.
Okay, Sabi.
Okay, yeah, I'm Sabi Malik. I'm in Florida, Miami, Florida at Howard Wortham College of Medicine. I'm a mentor, and it's nice and sunny out here. So it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now. And I'm interested in all the topics, and especially I would be interested in case-based learning because we do quite a bit of it, and it's always challenging, like building new cases, because I'm not a clinician, so that is an additional challenge. Oh, is anybody left who needs to be picked? Maybe R. Peterson?
3, yeah. Rayani, you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Thank you. I'm Rajani Peterson, and I'm from Santa Cruz, California. And I'm at the Cabrera College. Thank you so much for arranging this, Sue. This is, I love the PALM program. It's been really helpful for me. I am a fellow, and I'm interested in all these topics, although I am also interested in the ungrading and the conference. I'm interested in hearing what people are going to say about the conference. I don't know what to present right now. So yeah, thank you so much. And I will call Usha.
Hi, everyone.
My name is Usha. This is actually my first time with PALM. I'm a mentee. I'm working with Greg Crowther. And this is the second time I'm joining this meeting because I was also in the third gen meeting. And I really enjoy meeting all the PALM people. And it just been really nice. So I was like, I'm going to do it again today. And speaking of the weather, we got 6 inches of snow, and we all went out and shoveled. I got the, we actually got the kids to do it, so I didn't do as much. So, and I'm just like last time, I'm interested in all of the topics, and I really like, I think I was in Rachel's group, breakout group last time, and she gave a really nice, overview of what she does, and that was very good. Moving things into the publishing or presenting phase, which I think is always very valuable. And that's interesting to me, and also evaluation, right? How do I know what I'm doing in class is actually working? I think those, I mean, everything sounds good, but these are the two that, stayed with me. And I think I put it on the spreadsheet too from last time, that I really like using primary literature to teach, because that is something that, all the students need to be able to evaluate and read just primary literature. So that's also interesting to me. And I think, am I the last one or? Shailaja. Yeah, I choose Shailaja to go after me.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Shailaja. I'm at Pacific Lutheran University. I live in Olympia, Washington, and I'm a chemist. And my mentor is Michelle Dreesen at the University of Minnesota. I've been in the PALM program since December of 2019. And my PALM project was basically for teaching general chemistry, active learning strategies, and how to incorporate those in the classes, and how to teach in a way where students don't feel so rushed and always, getting the feeling that they have to, that I have to cover so much, and then, how to teach it in a way where I parse out the content little by little, so I don't get overwhelmed, the students don't get overwhelmed. So, and then, yeah, so out here the sun is out, but we've had in Washington, in this western part of Washington, we've had snow on the ground for a week now, which is kind of unusual for us. And then we had incessant rains for 24 hours, now 4 inches. So I have ankle deep water in my backyard, but the sun is out. So all of it is going to sink in hopefully in the next couple of days. Yeah, that's where I am. Thank you.
And I think we've heard from everyone. Is that correct?
Can we get Catherine Furness?
Yeah.
Other than being noisy in the chat, yeah, I haven't formally introduced myself.
Sorry.
Hi, yeah, I'm at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities with Sue. I believe I was a mentee in like 2018. I don't even remember now. So it's been a while. As I noted, I have a partially written course source article that's been sitting for about a year, just waiting. So I'd love a writing retreat to have the space and time to do that and to get feedback from some colleagues. But the other thing that I'm very passionate about is similar to PALM in how do we create more cultural change? So how do we take what we're doing and spread it through our department to create actual departmental change, whether that's in terms of active learning or in terms of DEIJ aspects, but just how do we create that larger change out from us?
Okay, that's going to be the 12th breakout for departmental cultural change. All right, we really have heard from everybody now, right? Okay, yes, Katie, I seeing you in the chat, I somehow forgot we didn't have you actually say anything. All right, my intent here, I have set it up so that on my end, it says you can choose a room. I'm going to open them all. I'm going to suggest that we spend maybe 20 minutes, and I will if it becomes apparent that you can't choose your own room, you'll have to just tell me what you want and I'll send you there. Otherwise, I'll go back and forth between rooms and the main room and put you where you need to be. So I'm going to open them. Let's hope for the best here. And do you have the option to choose room? Oh, good. Thank you. Good.
Yes.
So I'll
Thank
see
you.
you in about 20 minutes altogether again. And if anyone needs access to the Google Sheet with a Gmail address, send me an email message or put it in chat or something, and I will find it and fix you.
Sue, as I mentioned, chat, we need to hop off. Sorry, we had a weird week where we can't be in our offices, and I had an in-person lab meeting. But
Not
if
to
there's follow-up, let me know. I'd love to be involved in any of these ideas. But
Okay.
I unfortunately won't be able to join any of the breakout rooms.
Not to worry, Jeremy.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
I'm waiting to see where everybody goes.
I can't make up my mind.
Okay.
So case studies, primary literature, course evaluation.
I'm gonna go this way, I guess.
Reading. Assessments. Okay, Michael, fish or cut bait. Where are you gonna go? Again. So, was there anything that came up in your breakout rooms that you'd like to share with the group, or things that you added to the Google Sheets, which I haven't looked at? There were 2 sheets set aside for today. You could use one or both of them. I want to make sure there were at least 2 in case all 21 people tried to start writing on one at once. I know that gets chaotic. Were there suggestions for things that Palm could support? You know, a symposium on a topic, or writing.
We did have one question about someone was working with a Palm Fronds and they were getting toward the publication aspect, and they had a question about platforms that might be a good target for those. So I was curious if you might have platforms other than CourseSource or what have you that could also be considered for that in the future.
I'm going to rely on you and Rachel to sort of step up and see if you want to hear of any of these Palm Fronds projects in between the professional society journals. I think that may be one of the logical places.
I know that, Rachel, you said that you all have a publication that is specific for education. Is that right?
Great. So ASM sponsors Journal of Microbiology and Biology Education. It's open access journal. There is a publication charge, but it's a variety of different articles that it solicits. One type of article is 2 manuscript pages. Give us your best idea. Give us the best thing you did. No assessment data required. And the other type of article that you could publish is a research article, and it would require assessment data complete with quantitative, qualitative methods and statistics and that kind of thing. So,
so depending on how much depth one went into in the Franz project, you could tailor it to one of those. Yeah. Just, I can't remember, does GSA have any?
So we don't. Both of our journals, we have genetics and G3, which are geared more toward genetics research directly. But that being said, we do have Genes to Genomes as our blog, which we are willing to publish all kinds of information to. If anybody wanted to write about the experience that you had, things along those lines, we would certainly be willing to host that on the blog.
For those in physiology, I know APS does have at least one journal and then one more informal blog.
Yeah, they have advances in physiology education.
Great, thanks, Sabi. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also HAPS Educator, which is under Human Anatomy and Physiology Society.
That's right. Other things that came up in breakout rooms that struck you? Let me look at the spreadsheet, see if anyone add anything to either of these? Writing retreat, okay.
Well, advocating for that writing retreat. Sounds like we should have Rachel there because I was writing up for Course Source. So I'm just saying we get like 3 or 4 people plus Rachel. Minnesota is lovely in the summer, Rachel. You would love to come out here and hang out on a lake, the cabin. It'd be great.
So Katie, why don't you put your email address in there as a contact. Give you the responsibility of.
I need like dedicated space, and I'm always distracted when I'm trying to write. Actually, one of the things I loved about going to see my mentor, I had really small children at the time. It was like 3.5 days where that was my focus. I didn't have to teach. I didn't have to grade anything. I mostly ignored my email, and I got so much done for my project so that I could, go home and then execute it. That I'm just like really appreciative of those sort of retreat type spaces where that's the focus. And I like, if you could have some colleagues there to give you feedback, even better.
No, I think that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, good. Well, you're the purse string, so sounds good to me.
Well, assuming someone joins you so that you're not just
it's me and Rachel
by yourself. That'd be nice, but
you hear that? Anybody else want to join? Put your name on the list.
You're doing your Brainerd, someplace that has an airport where people could actually get to.
I mean, 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul, so it was all you need.
True. This is true.
Crossover, you're good to go. I would also just like to bring up, because I am like advocate for it everywhere in our departmental cultural change group, that there was a lot of discussion surrounding like, you're one person, but how do you create the change in the group? And well, Sue's part of my department, so she knows about the DEI department meeting work that I have piloted. So if anybody ever wants to talk about like, how do you create sustained cultural change? I've spent a lot of time reading and learning about it and made a lot of use those choices to inform the program that I designed. And I'm also creating it in a way that you can just pick it up and bring it to your department and you don't have to do any extra work. So trying to lower the activation energy for everybody. So let me know.
So yeah, why don't you add that to the spreadsheet also, Katie?
Okay.
And I think we just lost Jay. She said she had to leave early, but she made a comment about having a 1 or 2 day writing workshop before the SABR meetings, kind of roll it in with the gathering. And so that
I think
is a possibility to, have people come 2 nights early and spend the first day and a half writing, and then have that afternoon as a gathering, have a dinner together before SABR starts, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Mm-hmm. We'll try not to have any tornadoes or anything. That's the only danger about July in Minnesota.
You're fine. When's the last? No. We're gonna sound like we're Tornado Alley over here. We're not. We're fine.
We're not. If there's nothing else that came out of this first breakout room sessions, what we could do is go back into breakout rooms. You could maybe choose a different one or go back to the same one, whatever you think. Maybe for another 20 minutes and see because I know some of you are interested in more than one thing. And certainly feel free to go in and out of rooms. You're not really hurting anyone's feelings, I don't think. Oh, Michael, what are you suggesting? The grant writing groups could also use we could have all sorts of writing retreats here. Yes. We have to figure out timing for all of these. Yes, if any of you has good ideas, because if you want to be writing a manuscript and also working on a grant proposal, we need different times. So please put your ideas in the spreadsheet. Obviously, since we're having this winter gathering in 3 sections, it makes it a little tricky to correspond with people who met on Monday and who are going to meet next week. And that's the idea of having the spreadsheet. So the more we can capture there for others to think about and consider, so that we can put actual proposals in front of people and say, okay, who is interested in doing this and who's going to show up? So how many rooms do I need at the hotel? That sort of thing. That'd be really helpful. And one more thing. Mindy loves that. Okay, good. Breakout rooms. Oh, if I hit recreate, it's going to take the names off. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, I'm going to open all the rooms and let you move around as you see fit. Okay. So here goes.
Ooh. I think you can click not now and then you'll be able to pick your room again.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
For those of you who care, Ahmaud Arbery's killers all got life in prison.
All right, good. Stephanie, if you're still out here, I'll go back to departmental cultural change if you want to chat more. All right, I'll go back.
If anybody wants to stay to talk to me, I can do that too.
Oh, Sue, I have a question for you.
Yeah, Usha.
Yeah, so I remember you just talked about videos, so that reminded me. So since my fellowship application just got accepted, like right at the end of the fall semester, and just before exams were starting, I don't have a video recording of my class. But since we taught online for 2.5 semesters before that, I have tons of Zoom videos, which are now on Panopto. So I can send you any of those.
That would be great. That's perfect. If you could figure out a way to download it as an MP4 file.
Okay.
I have a lot of problems. I've gone through this probably 6 times now. For me to access your institutional
Sure.
archive.
I mean, I can make it available to anyone. I have different settings. So if I make, it says, you know, only.
I
to
actually
some
have to be able to download it because it's part of
Ah.
the archive for the grant.
Okay, so you want me to share it with you as, or send it to you as an MP4?
Or in some format that allows me to download it.
Okay.
A lot of institutions have settings so I can view things, but I can't download them.
Okay.
So however you can do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Hey, I just had a quick question.
Yes.
One of the other faculty members at my school sent me, it's called Teaching for Understanding by Jay McTighe and Elliot Seif. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
Do we cover that as any journal club? Because it's technically not a journal, it's more of a short review thing.
If you send me a link or something, I could certainly propose that for a journal club.
All right, it's only 3 pages and it doesn't have any actual literature, but it kind of brings everything together. So I wasn't sure if
It
that
might
would
be
be
good to pair that with something else.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. That would be good.
Okay, now I gotta go find a place to drop myself.
Okay. And Szilagyi, looks like you're thinking about where to go.
Yeah, I was actually interested in the conferences and publication one. I found my group now. I'll probably go there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
My research at or to check out.
Thank you, Stephanie, for the reminder to get the recording going again. Yes, we had, I think it was maybe last year, we had a resource like that and people put down what the deadline was for abstract submission and who was the contact person for a conference. Yes, I think that would be a good idea. You could even start that today on one of the Google Sheets.
Is that a subtle hint?
Yours is a big job because I know you have all these different model system meetings. You have lots of meetings rather than one grand one, unified one.
Yeah, I can at least get, if everybody's comfortable with a Google Sheet, I can hold off before I develop something, but I can start something and, send that out to the steering committee, see if anybody has any suggestions for additional fields we could add, and we can get that sent out to everybody and we can just start having that information added.
That'd be great.
Okay.
And it'd be good to get input from some of the chemistry folks because we don't have a chemical professional society on the steering committee right now. Were there other suggestions that came up? Thoughts? Again, I need to look at the notes here. Okay, so we've got the writing workshop and the departmental change workshop possibility, upcoming conferences resource. And just looking back at some of the ones that came up at Monday's meeting on the 3rd, there was certainly interest in lots of different workshop or symposium ideas. So I'm hoping that our third gathering group also finds some of these things exciting. And what I can do after all 3 gatherings have taken place, I can alert everybody to that collection of ideas. And I know some of you have names down for 2 or 3 things. You probably don't want to do them all simultaneously, but we could maybe start prioritizing which ones seem most interesting to do soon. And there are different ways to do them. Some could be done regionally. Others could be nationwide, especially if they're virtual. So naming them is just one, the first step. We've done this in the past and had lots of interest in doing things like this. And then when it comes time to getting them off the ground, reality strikes and don't always follow up on them. So I might start bugging people as well, or send the list out to the entire network and say, why don't you vote on the top 2 that you think you'd like to see sometime soon? And we could work from that rather than trying to do 7 all at once and getting people scattered all over the place. For both organizers and participants, that's just way too much going on. Karen, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I was just wondering, and maybe this is getting too ahead of ourselves. So the funding ends in September, but we have this network. And so a lot of what we're doing here is trying to model what this will continue to look like without a lot of funds. But will the website be a problem to maintain? And do you have other visions to how to maybe combine funds from our institutions or something to allow for some of these things to happen in the future?
My understanding from ASCB is that they're happy, or from THEA specifically, is that we can hold on to the website for at least a while, for a couple more years, and use that as our sort of communications hub. And certainly still have everyone's email addresses, and people who don't want to be contacted anymore. There have been 1 or 2 who've just written to me and said, look, I can't do this, so just take me off the list, and that's fine. I'm not sure if any of the grant proposals that are in the works have anything to do with combining resources from institutions, but that is another option, certainly.
I was just wondering what your thoughts were, big picture.
Yeah. Even if it's something like, we'd like to hold this workshop, and faculty members from your institution have participated in this NSF sponsored program and have found this topic to be useful, and we'd like to continue to spread the news. Would your institution consider contributing $300 or $500 or something? And I mean, it really doesn't cost a huge amount to put on a 1-day workshop. You're not talking about travel and hotel. So regional things are actually pretty cheap to do. Online things are really cheap to do. So that's a great idea, Karen. Thanks. Could you put that somewhere in the spreadsheet so that that idea doesn't get lost? Thanks. Were there questions came up? Concerns? If not, we can start to enjoy Friday afternoon. Those of you on the West Coast, I know it's still kind of early for you, but afternoon is just beginning. But thank you all for coming. A workshop only works if people, or a network only works if people get together to network. And So your contributions and your ideas and questions to each other and comments to each other are really very much appreciated. It's really fun for me to see and hear people in different fields connect and have questions that are cross-disciplinary and across the kinds of institutions, because we all come from some really different places. Just about every kind of possible institution of higher learning is represented. You know, everything, professional schools, R1s, community colleges, regional colleges, four-year liberal arts, you name it, we're here. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good, safe weekend. Go play in the snow if you're in the
Thank
so that's
Thank
possible.
you. And bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.